Hello NRI'S, welcome back again to my YouTube channel Finance Chapel. If you are new to this channel, please click on the subscribe button and bell icon so that you will get a notification when I do a new video exclusively for you. I'm Dr. Maria, I'm a financial coach. I help individuals like you to create wealth and safeguard their wealth by educating them on their personal finance. I'm on a mission to help the individuals to build a strong financial foundation for their families. So if you want to have a strong financial foundation, please get in touch with us and be in our community where you can learn a lot of things about the right financial foundation for your family. Yes, thank you so much. Today we are discussing about what are the 10 things you have to consider when you are planning your retirement in India. The first and foremost thing that is you have to think when you are going to retire. That is very important because you may be working from so many years in abroad and you may be living a good lifestyle there. But when you are thinking about the retirement in India without any job, then you have to think like how you are going to survive. So how many years you are left with you to retire in India? So you have to just think about it, make a note of it, and based on that you have to do all your calculations so that you can plan well for your retirement. Second important thing you have to make a note, that is where you are going to stay in India, because maybe you are staying in a native place, maybe you are staying in a metropolitan cities, and everything is depend upon your lifestyle. What are the necessities, or what are the lifestyle you are going to live, and what are the area, which is the area you are opting for your next 30-40 years of your living in India. So at that time, it based on the location which you are selecting, the cost varies. So finding out and stick to that plan, like where you are going to stay, so that you can do your financial plan very well and you can consider all the things when you are planning for your retirement. The third important thing you have to consider, that is what is the corpus which you require to retire in India, like peacefully, without worrying about anything during your retirement. If you are getting any passive sources of income, it is very good and well done. So if you have not yet planned for that, please plan so that you will get a passive sources of income during your retirement and you need not to worry for any of the financial difficulties or financial crisis, so or any medical any emergencies in your life. So make sure that you are having sufficient corpus for that, and you have to plan based on when you are going to retire and what is your which is the place you are going to stay. Based on that, you have to find out a corpus, that is total amount of money which you require for your livelihood. Because when you know what is a corpus, when you have accumulated that corpus, now the important thing you have to consider is where you are going to invest that money. And when you are going to invest that money, are you starting your retirement planning from now? Because you may have next 10 or 15 years to retire, so that you are considering your retirement as one of the goal at present and you are planning for that. And if you are doing that one, it is a very good decision what you are taking. And maybe you have only 4 or 5 years to retire, or maybe another 1 or 2 years you are retired, then you have to be very careful when you are investing your money as a corpus which you are accumulated, because considering the inflation, you have to get a sufficient amount every month which is required for your livelihood. So it is very important to consider what is the corpus you require and where you want to invest that corpus. Next important thing you have to consider, how you are withdrawing that money. Which of the investment you have done, based on that you have to withdraw your money for your retirement life. Are you opting for SWP option, that is systematic withdrawal plan? If you have invested your money in systematic investment plan or like SIP mutual fund, then there is an option called SWP, systematic withdrawal plan. And if you have invested your money in the real estate and all, whether the real estate is giving any return to you, are you getting a regular rental income? All these things you have to consider when you are planning your retirement in India. So don't take too much of time to plan for that. It is the right time. If you are not at plan, if you are planned, it is very good decision you have taken. If you are not at plan, this is the right time to plan for your retirement. Next important thing you have to take care, that is an emergency fund. Do you have sufficient emergency fund for your expenses? It is advised that minimum 6 times of your monthly expenses you should have in your banks or like in your savings account or whenever it is handy to withdraw that money, because you don't know what may be the condition in abroad, where like you don't know whether you are able to work in abroad, or like for the any medical reasons, are you coming back to India, or maybe for your family commitments you are coming back to India. So you have to sure that minimum 6 months of your emergency fund is there, and later based on that you are after that you are investing your money in other financial instrument. Otherwise, if you are just ignoring money, emergency fund, and you are investing everything in some other investment where you are not able to withdraw that money, then you may be doing a biggest mistake in your life. Next important thing you have to consider, that is a health insurance for your family and for you. And you have a sufficient coverage for you, your family, and for your parents as well. Because your parents are your responsibility and you have to take care of them. Make sure that they have a sufficient coverage. Make sure that you have considered all the things which you wanted, which you have to consider before buying a health insurance. I have made a separate video for that. Please click the link given there, and you just go there and find out what are the things which you have to consider before buying a health insurance. Similarly, I have another video where I have discussed about that. What are the things you have to consider before buying a term insurance? Please watch those videos and make a right decision when you are taking term and health insurance. Next important thing you consider, that is your commitments and your financial goals. What are your commitments in abroad as well as in India? So you have to make a note of all those things, as well as you have to just consider like what are your financial goals and whether they are already met, or you have to plan for that end. So you have to just think about it, and what is the amount required to like fulfill that financial goals. That also you have to consider when you are planning for your retirement. It may be your children's education, it may be your children's marriage, it may be your world tour, or maybe any other, or maybe you wanted to buy a house when you want to settle in India, you want to buy a vehicle when you want to settle in India. All those financial goals has to be well planned, and you have to plan a required corpus to fulfill those financial goals, and you have to invest the right amount of money so that you can get that money to fulfill your financial goals. Next thing you have to consider, that is income tax planning. Now, why income tax planning? You may be working in abroad, maybe there is you may not be getting any you may not be getting any of the income which is considered for income tax planning, then it is okay. But suppose if you are having any investment in India, and whether the TDS is deducted, then it is your you have to take that, you can take that TDS back by filing a ITR income tax returns. So July 31st is a due date to file your return. Then make sure that if you are falling into that category where you have to file an income tax, then contact your CA or the financial advisor, where they can guide you properly, and you can do all this commitment when you are coming into India. So even when you are abroad, you can do these formalities, but make sure that you are just check that whether you are falling into that category or not. Next important thing you have to plan, that is considering the inflation. Maybe the inflation is not much there in abroad, but here the inflation is 5 to 7%, and education inflation is approximately 10 to 12%, and medical inflation is 12 to 14%. You have to consider these inflations when you are taking a health insurance, or maybe when you are investing in your money. Make sure that instead of keeping all your money in FD, like wherever you are investing your money, that is to give you at least minimum 9 to 10% return, which is beating the inflation, and you are left with some of the profits in your hand. So consider all these points, and the last but not the least, you have to think about the succession planning, that is a will making. Why it is very important? Because when you are working so hard, and you are sacrificing a lot of things to get the things done, and you are accumulating the wealth. Make sure that that wealth is going to the right person, maybe your family people, and they will know about that, like what are the things you have accumulated during your journey. And for that you have to prepare a will, and it will not cost you much, and you can consider even you can go for a registered will, and at least for that matter you can write a will for yourself, and you can consider people can consider. And make sure that you are having a nomination wherever it is required, maybe in your bank account, maybe in your mutual fund accounts, maybe in your stocks account, wherever it is considered. Please make sure that you are mentioning your nominee name. and so that it will be easy for them. And if your properties and all, there is no way you can mention your nominee, so it is better to have a will, so that you are mentioning everything about in the will, so that your family can get the access. When you leave them, they can have the access easily, and they can live peacefully. Otherwise, they have to do a lot of legal battle, and they are spending a lot of time, lot of energy, and lot of money to get the things done in their favor. So these are some of the things which you have to consider when you are planning for your retirement in India. So hope this video is useful for you. If you want to learn more about these kind of things about your personal finance, I'm conducting a special workshop only for NRIs on coming July 8th. Please find the details in the description and join this. Only limited seats are available. And if you like this video, please share it with your family and friends who are the NRIs, and tell them to be aware about these things and make a right plan for their retirement, so that they can live a happy, peaceful life during their retirement in India. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and the bell icon, so that you will get a notification when I do a new video for you. Thank you.